This spectacular fireworks display just wrapped up over Riverfront Park. We'll have a rundown of all the 4th of July festivities tonight on Nightside.
Well, it has been a warm, sunny 4th of July, but the warm-up is just getting started. A weather alert week for extreme heat in the forecast.
And a 16-year-old boy is in custody, accused of shooting a 13-year-old girl at a Washington Mall food court. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. And thank you for staying up with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. We are tracking several fires tonight. First, an 840-acre brush fire burning in Douglas County, according to the Washington State Fire Marshal's office. Level 2 evacuations have been put in place for people living near the town of Mansfield. The fire started around 1:15 this afternoon, and the sheriff's office believes it was caused by a downed power line. In Stevens County, level 1 evacuations are in place for a 5-acre wildfire near the Daisy boat launch on the Columbia River. A couple of you have called our newsroom about this. Fire officials are asking people to avoid the area as they are still working to put the flames out. And evacuations have been dropped now for the wildfire burning in the Sand Flat area in Omak. These are photos sent to us by a viewer. In them, you can see just how close the flames were to nearby homes there. The fire is burning in the northeast part of town, south of Highway 97. You can also see in these photos the planes fire crews brought in to battle the flames. Crews will be working throughout the night to extinguish the flames. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker tracking what we consider to be fire danger during our summer and some really high heat that's coming up in the forecast.
It is the last thing that we really want to see this time of year, other than lightning and wind, but it is going to be hot and dry for the next several days, and temperatures are going to jump from what we were today. If we were hot today, this is just the beginning. We were in the 80s and 90s over much of the inland Northwest. Look out past 72, 77 in Kalispell, but we were in the 80s and 90s in eastern Washington and North Idaho today. We're going to see these temperatures jump more than 15 degrees by next week. Our high temperature trend, this white line is our average high, shows we are going to be into the 90s tomorrow. 92 will be our warmest day of the season so far, but we'll best it every subsequent day. Right now, it looks like our warming trend is going to peak on Tuesday at 103, but we may stay in the triple digits right on through Thursday and the 90s, perhaps beyond. A lot more hot weather, and that is why we have several weather alert days. Really, it's a weather alert week from Saturday through Friday for the entire region because of that excessive heat. The National Weather Service has also issued excessive heat warnings for this area, shaded in hot pink on your screen. Goes all the way from the Okanagan Highlands and Valleys down through the Columbia Basin, the Idaho, Washington, Palouse, and the LC Valley, as well as the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. It is a heat advisory for the orange shaded area and excessive heat watch for the southern Panhandle and parts of western Montana. All adds up to some very hot weather ahead in the forecast. I'll be back with your 7-day outlook and talk more about what you can expect for Friday in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. And because of those high temperatures Chris was just talking about this weekend, the city of Spokane is activating its cooling centers. On your screen now, a list of those centers, which includes most of the city's libraries and the Trent Resource and Assistance Center. Anyone getting to and from one of these locations can take Spokane Transit for free. Hundreds of people flooded downtown Coeur d'Alene today for the city's annual 4th of July parade. Families danced in the street as our military branches kicked off the parade. People were standing with pride. For hours, a lot of crowds were on Sherman Avenue watching as the floats went by. Cheerleaders, tractors decked in America's colors, city officials, animals, and a whole lot of fun.
We love to see everybody come out, celebrate our country. There's so much American pride in this town, and we love it. The kids love it, the parade is fun, and it's just a great 4th of July activity.
Several families told 4 News Now it was nice to see so many people come together to celebrate our country. Here in Spokane, the Riverfront Park fireworks show ended just about 30 minutes ago. Jordan Smith was all over town today to see how people were celebrating the Independence Day holiday.
Live music, a sea of games, carnival rides, and a whole bunch of families are taking over Riverfront Park this 4th of July weekend. From ring tosses to whatever ride this is. There's something for everybody here celebrating Independence Day. But if you don't want to bother with parking and are looking for a slower paced weekend, your crowd is waiting for you on the water.
Honestly, we are chilling today. Our plan is to go out on the water, have a few snacks, take some time to ourselves, and just really soak it all in.
Pretty much anywhere I went, people were enjoying today's perfect weather while I was lugging my camera gear around in jeans. Eventually, my envy overtook me.
Definitely recommend.
If you can't beat them, join them. There's also an Indians game tonight for those baseball lovers out there. So between that, our lakes and rivers, and the food and games at the carnival, the only thing missing is fireworks. Just make sure they're not your own.
There's so many devastating consequences that can occur. We all want to celebrate, but we really want you to celebrate safely.
And that was Jordan Smith reporting. Remember, like you just heard, in most of Spokane County, your own fireworks are illegal. That includes the small ones, even sparklers and smoke bombs. So if you're caught, the penalties start with a fine of over $500.
Well, since it was the 4th of July, that means every single Major League Baseball team was in action on Thursday, and another chance for the Seattle Mariners to get right because they've been in a tailspin as of late, losing 10 of their last 13 games, and we're just trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of Baltimore. And a big struggle during that period has been the offense of the M's, but that was no problem today. In the 5th inning, Julio Rodriguez records his 8th home run of the season and his first since mid-June to jumpstart the bats. But the difference maker came in the 7th with the game tied at 2 and the bases loaded. J.P. Crawford clears them all with emptying the bases with a 3 RBI double to give Seattle the lead and restore a bit of confidence into the Mariner faithful as they go on to win this one 7-3, the most runs they've scored since June 22nd.
And it is a grind, every day. And we got another series coming up here with Toronto and need to get back going here with our offense. Hopefully today kind of opens the floodgates a little bit. Guys can take a deep breath and get back to being who we are.
Another great 4th of July tradition can be found in Coney Island, New York. The Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest. For the first time in almost a decade, we got a new men's champion as Patrick Bertoletti downed 58 hot dogs and buns. Look at him go there, breaking his own previous record of 55. He becomes only the 4th man in the last quarter century to claim the mustard belt. Now, reason for that is 16-time champion Joey Chestnut, not in attendance today because he signed an endorsement deal with Nathan's competitor Impossible. So maybe he'll be there next 4th of July. We'll just have to wait and see. Kirsten, I'll send it back over to you.
Is it safe to look up yet? I really can't watch that. Thank you, Alex. All right, we have lots more ahead on Nightside, including a 13-year-old girl who was caught in a shooting at a Washington Mall food court, and some noisy critters creating a nightmare for farmers in Idaho. The unconventional way one rancher is fighting them, coming up next.
If you're heading camping this weekend, the weather will be nice. Head up to the Beaver Lodge Resort. That is just east of Colville on Gillette Lake. Temperatures will be in the 90s, but it will be cooler there, and you can cool off in the lake. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Wheels Swap Meet, July 6th and 7th.
Get into an Audi and go your own way. Find your way to exceptional offers during the Summer of Audi sales event at your local Audi dealer.
We have some exciting news. I don't know, maybe we should have a drum roll for this.
All summer long, your favorite stars are guest hosting Kimmel.
Absolutely insane idea.
Tune in to see who's behind the desk.
What could possibly go wrong?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Are you an aspiring cottage cheese micro-influencer? At Numerica, you'll find money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
Prices are rising, the border is open, and our cities are broken. I'm Michael Baumgartner, and we need to fight back against the liberal agenda and win. In the state Senate, I lowered taxes, eliminated government agencies, funded the North-South Freeway, and brought a new medical school to Spokane. In Congress, I'll fight for Eastern Washington, protect Fairchild Air Force Base, save our dams, back our police, and secure our southern border. I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a constant backseat driver. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety.
Roll into summer. Save up to $200 instantly on a wide selection of tires and wheels.
Get into an Audi and go your own way. Find your way to exceptional offers during the Summer of Audi sales event at your local Audi dealer.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Wheels Swap Meet, July 6th and 7th.
Once you got them, you got them.
Mormon cricket populations are increasing in certain parts of southwest Idaho, creating a nightmare for farmers and ranchers. Herds travel across the area every year. The good news is they die off at the end of the summer. The bad news is they leave eggs behind, but there is one way to fight them.
Saw how they went in herds?
Yeah.
Okay, they move away from noise. So I gave the kids bells and noisemakers, and we headed them over the hill this way.
There you go. Idaho rancher Chris Black and his family actually heard the crickets, as you heard him say, like cattle, using sound. So if you come across them, you don't like them, just make a little noise and keep on going.
I just spent several days in southeastern Idaho. No crickets. They must be all on the west side.
You would have heard them, I think.
I think so, yeah. And I was out in the potato fields, so.
Yes. It's a good thing. It reminds me when I was a child, my dad used to have us hunt for snails because he didn't want them to disrupt his gardening.
Oh.
And so same thing. He had the noisemakers for the kids, and yeah, it's like a first job when you're 4 or 5 years old.
That is brilliant. Okay.
You'll know what my kids are doing if you see them running around.
They're rounding up snails at your place. Oh my goodness.
That's so gross.
Well, here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be gross around here, hot and sweaty weather. 4 things to know. Blue skies for Friday, and we are going to be starting to get into that hot territory, 90 degrees. An excessive heat warning goes into effect Saturday, goes all the way through Friday. We'll be in the triple digits for most, if not all, of next week. Now, tomorrow, we're going to start that warming process. 61 degrees at 7 after a morning low in the 50s. Our last night in the 50s for a while. 76 already as we're getting into mid-morning. We'll be in the 80s, mid-80s by noon. Light winds across the region. That is good news, just in case there are any additional fires started by fireworks. 92 degrees for a high temperature. 80 is our average high. Now, tomorrow morning, we will be down in the 50s, so that is a nice start to the day. Not too bad around the region. A few spots staying in the 60s. Grand Coulee, Moses Lake 60, 64 in Lewiston. But that is one element of this heat wave that we have not talked a lot about, and that is the recovery at night, that we're going to have these really warm nights. This white line is our average high. Again, we'll be in the 50s tonight, but then the 60s degrees, and then with the house heating up during the day with those 90s and triple digits, and not much relief at night, almost 70 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. That can really take a toll, especially on our residents that do not have air conditioning, and there are a lot of them. The fan doesn't do much good. Once we see temperatures climbing into the mid-90s and triple digits in a lot of places, we will see that tomorrow. In North Idaho, temperatures remain in the 80s for one more day. 89 in Moscow and Pullman, but triple-digit heat in Lewiston, the Tri-Cities, and Wenatchee, and we'll see a lot more triple digits on the map as we go into the weekend and beyond. Friday's highs right around the Spokane area, ranging from 85 degrees at Spirit Lake to 94 in downtown Spokane, 92 in Spokane Valley, as well as Meade, and 94 in 9 Mile. The extended forecast, this is your 8 to 14 day outlook, is still calling for above average temperatures. So this is not going to be the end of our very hot weather. Your planning forecast, things ramp up through Tuesday. Right now, it looks like that's when it will peak, and then temperatures will start to moderate a little bit as a ridge of high pressure moves to the east, but it's a little early to count on that. I think we should plan on very hot weather for at least another week. Kirsten?
All right, a lot to think about as we head into next week.
And prepare for, yes.
That's right. Thank you, Chris. Well, a disturbing story here in Washington. A 16-year-old boy is in custody accused of shooting a 13-year-old girl at a mall food court yesterday. Police in Linwood say the shooting happened after two groups of people got into a fight and that the girl was just an innocent bystander. Jim Nelson reports.
What we see out here, like the hugs of relief, can be hard to reconcile with the trauma of what happened in there.
I grew up in this area. I went to this mall. I still frequent it, and so to have this kind of violence, senseless violence occur is upsetting.
How could it not be upsetting? Jada Woods Johnson was shot to death just after 6 o'clock in the food court area of Alderwood Mall. Investigators say a group of older teens got into some sort of altercation. The victim wasn't with either of the groups, completely innocent. Deputy Chief Patrick Fagan, at times visibly emotional when talking to reporters.
It's upsetting on a number of different levels. To have a totally innocent teenager hit is very upsetting. To have other teenagers engaged in this behavior on the eve of a national holiday, also upsetting.
Police say the suspect got away in the chaos. The mall went into lockdown. Then the all too familiar scenes of shoppers, many of them young, gathering outside. What we see out here, like a deputy grabbing the hand of a crying little girl, leading her to safety, sure is hard to watch, knowing what so many saw in there.
Well, still ahead, weight loss drugs could have an impact on muscle mass. An Idaho woman shows how she packs on the muscle while still shedding the fat.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We owe everything to our troops, past and present, for their honor, courage, and dedication. As a token of our appreciation, 4 News Now and Global Credit Union are encouraging you to once again wear red on Fridays.
Join us in recognizing our troops and their families for allowing us the freedom we enjoy every day as Americans. Stop into any Global branch to pick up a red pin and show your support.
And then wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
Wear Red Fridays, brought to you by 4 News Now and Global Credit Union.
This year, set your summer off right at Northern Quest with the region's premier 4th of July celebration. We've lined up a full evening of family-friendly fun at BECU Live with music, local food trucks, and carnival activities for the kids, plus an exciting drone and fireworks display. So get the whole family and join us for one unforgettable night. Admission is free. Festivities start at 4, drone show and fireworks at 10. Details at northernquest.com.
The DQ freezer is opening. All the Blizzard flavors of the past call it home. But which one is making a triumphant return? It's the unshareable salted caramel truffle Blizzard, back for a limited time. Salted caramel truffles. Toffee pieces. Choco chunks. Yep, he's getting his own. Hurry in and get this flavor before the DQ freezer closes.
The Tire Store for auto repairs, tires, and wheels. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASC certified, and you can start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Subaru.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Well, evidence suggests drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy could have an impact on muscle mass loss. An Idaho woman shows how she packs on the muscle while still shedding the fat. ABC's Becky Worley has the story.
I've struggled with my weight basically all of my adult life, and I've lost and gained many times over. Pretty sure I've tried every diet there is.
46-year-old Tiffany from Boise, Idaho says she started taking compounded semaglutide nearly 5 months ago. While not a new FDA concern, some doctors, like Tiffany's, have told their patients to be mindful of losing muscle mass.
Her goal is to make sure that it's body fat that's being lost and not just lean body mass.
Lean body mass is a term that includes bones, organs, water, and muscle mass. Multiple studies of traditional weight loss methods like diet and exercise show 20 to 30% of total weight loss is typically lean mass. But in a study of people that took semaglutides for 15 months, the loss of lean mass accounted for up to 40% of total weight loss.
We know that it can be substantial because so much weight is lost. And so it's important to protect against the loss of muscle.
Novo Nordisk, the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy, points to the fact that people who use these drugs still lose more fat than muscle. And they tell ABC News its studies look at lean body mass and not specifically muscle mass. They add they work closely with the FDA to continuously monitor the safety profile of their medicines because safety is a top priority. And Eli Lilly, the maker of Mounjaro and Zepbound, tells us a reduction in lean mass was reported at a similar rate as what is seen in lifestyle-based treatments for obesity. Now, to protect against muscle loss, Tiffany exercised with weightlifting and she ate more lean protein because studies have shown those two actions help preserve muscle. Tiffany also got body mass scans that showed she was losing fat and gaining muscle even on weeks when the scale didn't show any weight loss. That's because lean muscle and fat have such different densities. This is a representation of 5 pounds of lean muscle and this 5 pounds of fat. You can see there's a big difference. Companies like BodySpec that provide these body composition scans are trying to bring the price down and make the technology more available with mobile vans and retail locations like this one I try in San Francisco.
The machine will generate a report giving you your body fat percentage, your lean tissue quantity, your bone mineral content, an estimated resting metabolic rate, your visceral fat.
While body mass scans are not a standard of care for semaglutide regimens, some doctors recommend them, saying they can help make those who have access more aware about muscle loss and gain. Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
A consumer alert tonight. Nearly 1 million units of the popular Hatch Baby sound machines have been recalled because they could pose a shock hazard. I actually have one of these. They're very popular. Power adapters sold with some of these units of the Rest first generation sound machine could break and leave the power prongs in the outlet. There have been 2 reports of minor electrical shocks. Contact Hatch for a free replacement online. And Dania Furniture is recalling the Hayden bookcase after it tipped over and killed a 4-year-old child. Dania Furniture says you should stop using the bookcase immediately if it's not anchored to a wall in your home and move it to an area where kids can't get to it. You should also contact the company for a free tip-over restraint kit or a full refund. Buy now, pay later plans were previously reserved for big ticket purchases. Well, now they can be used for nearly anything when you're shopping online, but you may want to think twice before opting in. Many companies offer these interest-free payment options without a credit check. This year, buy now, pay later transactions are estimated to reach $334 billion. It's money that isn't reported to credit agencies. And some financial experts caution this phantom debt contributes to the growing debt problem in the United States. Those experts warn you to proceed carefully, especially if you're trying to build credit.
You have to know the rules. You want to be very clear and understand what the fees may be associated with late payments. Understand that your behavior with this payment plan, if you are perfect and you paid it off in full in 4 installments, you did everything right, that's not going to help you build credit.
But if you do opt into the plans, experts advise you to use auto pay. Stay within your budget and read the fine print. The Spokane Indians were back in action this evening and looking for their 4th straight win. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti shows us Ribby and how they were able to get it done and send the fans home happy tonight. Stay with us.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Global Credit Union.
It's time to embrace the crazy.
It's a 2-hour premiere event.
We got the best clips in Family Feud history.
With a celebration nearly 50 years in the making.
Mama! That's different.
It's Family Feud Decades of Laughs, followed by the star-studded return.
Megan Thee Stallion, everybody!
Of Celebrity Family Feud.
Oh my God, we made it to Family Feud!
The 2-hour premiere event starts Tuesday, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
A Spokane Valley athlete got first place at a state girls track meet, but not everyone was celebrating. Why? Because the winner is transgender. A state law protects her, but what about the other athletes? Watch Monday, only on Good Morning Northwest.
I grew up in wheat country in Colton, and I know how much we need our Snake River dams. I'm Michael Baumgartner, and when I get to Congress, we'll protect those dams. They're vital for our farmers, and we're not tearing them down. I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message.
The 4th of July savings are rolling in at Findlay Downtown Toyota, making it the perfect time to hit the open road or go camping in your new Toyota. And if you're looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle, we've got hundreds of great choices to choose from. Plus, every vehicle sold comes with a 1-year, 15,000-mile maintenance plan. So if you're looking for a great deal on a new sporty ride, you can find it at Findlay.
It's still the best time to save as the 4th of July sale continues this Friday at More Furniture. Get incredible values for every room in your home, all on sale. The looks you love are in stock and ready for delivery, just in time for summer entertaining. Visit your local showroom or browse all 4th of July sale products online at morefurniture.com. Only at More Furniture, where everyone buys furniture for less.
Well, what is more American than baseball on the 4th of July? That's exactly what we had this evening as the Spokane Indians were looking for their 4th straight win this week against the Tri-Cities Dust Devils. Well, let's head inside Vista Stadium where sold-out crowd included our own Chris Crocker there clapping along. And, of course, the greatest mascot in all of sports, there's Ribby. But we're going to get the action started. Connor Stain got the nod for Spokane tonight. He was absolutely dealing in the 3rd. He gets Adrian Placencia looking to end the inning, and he's feeling it. Next inning, same situation, 2 outs, no one on. Stain gets his man looking. He was virtually untouchable tonight, going 7 innings, giving up only 1 hit, striking out 12 Tri-City batters. Offense hard to come by tonight for both teams, but in the 5th, Cole Carrick steals second base easily with 2 outs. Indians have a runner in scoring position. From there, Diane Jorge with a bouncer that gets past the first baseman. Carrick's going to be waved home. The throw to the plate, not in time. Indians take the 1-0 lead. They would get the one more insurance run in the inning to end up taking this one 2-0 to improve to 10-3 during the second half of the season. Now, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but if you're relying on your pitching to carry you through 162 games in a season, that's not really a sustainable model for success. And lately, the Seattle Mariners have been giving their starters 0-run support, failing to score more than 7 runs for almost 2 weeks now. The M's were in action this afternoon hosting Baltimore, but trying to avoid the sweep. and maintain their slight lead in the AL West. Things did not get off to a great start, though. Bryce Miller on the mound. In the third, Gunnar Henderson sends him deep to left for the 2-run home run, and Baltimore on top early. But in the fifth, this is where the game starts to take a turn as Julio Rodriguez with a monster shot into center that's gone into the beer garden. His 8th home run of the season and his first since the middle of June. Couldn't have come at a better time to cut the deficit in half. In the 7th, we got a tie ball game, and the bases loaded for J.P. Crawford. He finds the gap in right center that drops on the warning track. Everyone's going to be waved home. A bases-clearing RBI double gives Seattle the 5-2 lead. And in the driver's seat, well, how about a couple insurance runs to go along with that? You're in good hands with Mitch Garver as he homers on the very next at-bat, his 11th on the season, as the Mariners extend that lead out even further. Then in the 9th, Andres Munoz in to close this one out. He does just that, forcing the ground out, and Seattle gets the win they were so desperately looking for this week, and they head into the holiday weekend feeling much better about themselves.
I mean, so much emotion. I feel like when you work really hard towards something and results don't happen, sometimes it can get tough, but that's when you got to keep going. That's when you got to keep showing up.
Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on guys at this time, and certainly Julio, he wears a lot of it internally and trying to just get him to play free, and it's hard. It's hard when you're young and the expectations aren't as high as they are. But I got a ton of respect, just grinding through it. And today he played as free as he can. He just went out there and competed his tail off and got great results.
Now, Seattle will stay home this weekend as they welcome in the Toronto Blue Jays for a 3-game series tomorrow evening, with Luis Castillo getting the nod in Game 1. And, of course, we can't leave you tonight without talking about the hot dog eating contest from earlier today.
Again, no.
Well, hang on now, Kirsten, because I blurred out the competition just to, for the viewers at home as well. You don't want to see what's happening there. Patrick Barraletti downing 58 hot dogs. Not really a pretty sight. We were talking about this being an American tradition now. This is one of the stupider things we do today, right?
I'm hiding under the laptop. It's not my favorite tradition, and it always ends up on the news.
Always. It's a staple of this day.
And a lot of people were very disappointed that our champion was, I don't know, sponsored by a vegan product now. So
yeah, well, I guess that's
he'll be back.
Money
Don't
talks.
worry. We'll have this story again next year. We'll be right back after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
At Numerica, you'll find money answers for people who'd rather be on the water. Get money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
Hi, this is Tony Javier with APH Buys Homes, and we buy houses for cash. We're the call to make to sell your house as is and for cash. We buy homes all over the area in any price range. Inherited houses, foreclosures, bad renter houses, vacant houses, even nicer houses you just can't keep up with. Don't make any repairs or even clean up. And best of all, no closing costs. We're helping people just like you sell their house as is, so call now for a free cash offer.
Just call 509-818-1800. That's 818-1800.
If you would like to improve your sleep for less, then right now is the perfect time to visit Walker's Furniture for their 4th of July savings event, where you can get no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years this week at Walker's.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. How may I help you today?
I'm having some problem with my air conditioner.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What sort of problem?
Well, it's making a clangety clunk sound.
Oh, no worries. We can certainly take care of that for you. Here at Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, we speak your language.
92.9 CCU.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
We're giving you a lot of notice that we've got some hot weather on the way. It is just going to get hotter. It's going to feel hot tomorrow at 92, but we'll still have more than 10 degrees to climb by the middle of next week.
I know. I was thinking about what we can do inside, honestly, because 103 is going to be brutal.
It's going to be warm inside in a lot of places.
Yeah. And we'll have a lot more for you as we get closer because those are weather alert days. Thanks for joining us.